What you're about to hear is so deranged, it actually bends reality around itself. Pay attention, because this gets wild.
It is astonishing that a senior member of the royal family would meet up with, take for dinner, maybe more, invite to Buckingham Palace, a random 26-year-old Russian girl, no?
I suppose he felt very comfortable with Geoffrey. At that point, how long had they been friends? They'd been friends for a long time, right?
But he didn't know the woman, presumably.
No, but I suppose he put all his trust in Geoffrey and just, Geoffrey said, oh, she's a nice girl, she's discreet, she's beautiful, and sort of why not? Like, he's single, and to be honest, like, he should have been charging for these private tours of Buckingham Palace.
You think
she should be sending the girl an invoice, I think.
But why not? Might be because she's a completely unknown 26-year-old. And he is a very senior member of the royal family. And
but he's a guy. He needs to date. I mean, I think it's very hard for anyone to kind of try and imagine being in his shoes. But he's a male. He's single. He needs to date. He's not going to be sitting in a monastery his whole life. So how is he supposed to do that? And so this guy, Jeffrey Epstein, he trusted him. He's obviously, like, they'd known each other for a long time at this point, and he sort of thought, okay, well, he knows beautiful women. And
Andrew said in an interview to the BBC, quote, "That is a picture of me. It is definitely me."
Yeah, because imagine, like, he never thought he's going to be shopped into a picture. Like, no one knew. Like, if I saw a picture of me 25 years ago in a location that might have been a friend's house, but I know I hadn't been upstairs, but when you first look at it, you don't imagine that someone could have swapped your heads out and put another head.
Which is what you say happened.
Yeah.
And then we have the Epstein email from July 2011, which says, Jeffrey Epstein's email, yes, Virginia Giuffre was on my plane, and yes, she had her picture taken with Andrew.
Well, because I still believe Geoffrey and Virginia worked together on this.
Jeffrey and Virginia worked together on
setting up Andrew with a fake photo.
And you believe that because
that seems the obvious thing. That's what he did. He was a blackmailer. It's all coming out. He created, like, in this instance, a photo.
Why would you
use as blackmail
with a fake photo that could easily be proven? Whether
it hasn't. No one's proven it except, like, people that I know. No one's still saying it's fake.
But all the people that the BBC at the time of the interview went to the experts in photography to say, is this fake?
Yeah, but what experts?
I just think people are going to come to the conclusion that...
What is everyone believing Jeffrey Epstein now?
That you've provided no evidence to the contrary.
But just tell me, is everybody believing Jeffrey Epstein as a Bible verse now?
I think people are believing Virginia Giuffre.
Really? What? Because she's dead?
Not because she's dead, because it is overwhelmingly likely the case that this is a real photo. He really was there. He really did have her arm round her waist. And he's not being honest.
I think what I would love you to do another time is to try and recreate that photo and see what the arm does, because that I can't show it because it's very private, but Andrew recreated that pose, and the arm, it's
impossible.
What do you mean he
recreated that pose?
Standing like that with somebody else, and
he did a mock-up of it.
Yeah.
Where?
And the hand, it doesn't work. No one's seen it. This is a private thing, but it's impossible. Like, you would have to have Inspector Gadget arms to
Put your arm around the waist of a.
But look how it is. Do we have a photo
a young
of it?
Woman.
The way he's standing, it's impossible, Tom. His height does not. She is a 5'5". He's 6 foot, 6'1".
You talked about the tapes.
But I still want to go on about this Virginia thing, because, just before she passed away, her lies were unraveling. Like, finally people were kind of realizing, okay, this girl is making up stories, and then she conveniently dies. And
I don't think it's convenience.
Convenient for her.
She's dead.
Is she dead? I mean, I think she is.
She's dead?
I don't even think Jeffrey Epstein's dead anymore, to be honest.
You don't think Jeffrey Epstein's dead?
No, I don't. I think he might be alive.
What would lead you to that conclusion?
I'd seen one of those emails, one of the ones that ended up in the files, and I think that prison guard needs to be interviewed. The one that he said he saw the bodies being switched out.
So your honest belief is that Jeffrey Epstein is alive somewhere?
I said it's not my honest belief, but I think it's a possibility.
Where might he be?
Israel, everyone is saying.
So we're never going to find this out.
Well, we will. Otherwise, I'm literally going to ask Trump myself. Like, I saw him.
You're going to ask Trump to...
Myself. I saw him on Christmas Eve, and we had a good conversation, and he even gave me his White House pen. And
what did you talk about?
England. He's like very concerned about this country falling apart, and he's completely backing Nigel Farage. And he gave me his pen. That's his White House on it, and I thought the next time I see him, I'm going to be saying to him, "I've been signing some pardons for you, Mr. President."
Do you think he'd release those tapes if they do exist? Do you think he'd acquiesce to that?
Yeah, it's not going to affect him. I'm going to try and find out more.
He's obviously implicated in the Epstein stuff quite heavily, isn't he?
He's not implicated. Like, the guy had really, he cut his ties with Epstein very, very early on, The thing is, what people can see from these Epstein files, he knew everybody that was very powerful. So, like, if you were on the scene and you were powerful, like, to be honest, like, if you're not in those files, it would be an insult. Because it just means that you were a bit of a loser.
Right. So the people who aren't in the files are losers.
Yes.
Okay.
Lady Victoria Harvey, former girlfriend of Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor's. That's an astonishing attitude, isn't it? If you're not in the Epstein files, it's an insult, you're a loser. Now, being in those files is not evidence of wrongdoing. But is it something to be celebrated? Your name in those files used as a kind of barometer, yardstick, measure of success, of power, of wealth. That those of you listening now who have built your lives with your families, going to work every day, earning an honest living, you're not on private jets, you're not on private islands, you do it with dignity, you're the loser. You're the loser because you're not in this. I find that jaw-dropping. Really. That attitude is of apparent impunity and better than others because of who you know, of where you go, of who you socialise with, of the clubs you drink in, of the people you surround yourself with, arguably is part of the attitude that has led to all of this, is it not?
Andrew couldn't have met Virginia Giuffre. Why? Because the photo's fake, even though Andrew himself said, and I quote, "That is definitely me." But no, Victoria insists it's photoshopped. The arm position's impossible, apparently. She's got a private recreation of the pose that proves it. Nobody's seen this recreation, obviously, but trust her, it's impossible, even though the pose looks completely normal to everyone on the planet. Now here's where it gets properly mental. Victoria says if you're not in the Epstein files, quote, "it would be an insult. It just means you're a bit of a loser." So being associated with a convicted sex trafficker who ran a child abuse ring is now a badge of honor. If your name doesn't show up in documents about a paedophile network, you weren't important enough. You're a nobody. That's the worldview we're dealing with. The mental gymnastics here are incredible. Epstein and Virginia worked together to frame Andrew with fake photos. Why would they even do that? Oh, and she met Trump on Christmas Eve. He gave her his White House pen. Very excited about that. She is defending an entire system, a worldview where power means you never face consequences, where hanging around with criminals makes you important, where regular people living honest lives are beneath you. And she says it all with complete confidence. No hesitation, like it's obvious, like we're the idiots for not understanding how the world really works. Absolutely jaw-dropping. Drop a comment down below, keen to get your thoughts on this.